Good morning, everybody. It is no, it's not March. It's April 9th. I should stop telling you what the day is. It's April 9th. It's Friday, and it's your weekend energy forecast. So we have a few things on deck happening as we live and breathe right now, as we roll into this weekend. So yes, we are in Aries season. It hasn't felt very Aries season this week, and that is because the moon moved into Pisces. And side note, you know how we all have our own unique astrological makeup, right? So just kind of pointing out to you guys how that works, right? Anybody born right now would be in Aries with a Pisces moon. You know what I mean? For some reason, I wanted to tell you that. I was thinking about it in my dreams last night. I was like, they probably would find that interesting if they didn't know it already. So that's how that works. Like whenever you're born, the current astrology, that's how that gets chosen. So people born today are fiery with a Pisces fucking moon. Can you even? So good luck to them. So anyway, this week, the moon has been in Pisces. It is going to be in Pisces until Saturday. And for a lot of us, it is a little bit because it's bringing back some of that same energy that we felt during Pisces season, which means it's saying, hey, do you remember those lessons that you learned over there about your feelings and emotions and how those are important? And you're like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. And they're like, well, you have to. So if you've been feeling the feels this week and a little irritated by it, that's all right. But take this moment to be in Pisces because you're going to need it. It's getting much more fiery after this weekend. The Pisces moon is here to allow you to disconnect a little bit from quote unquote reality, to allow you to like deep dive into your dreams, to really receive messages, and to generally be kind of a space cadet if that feels good for you right now. Don't judge yourself if you're just not doing the things the way you normally do. Leave it be. These are cycles for a reason, right? So we're approaching the new moon in Aries, and that is going to be a really different energy. And something we did, I think it was what did we just have? I think it was the April forecast last Thursday with the Purple Crescent. They talked about the 11th being a big portal day. Okay. So that feels about right because this Pisces energy moving into that very much feels like it's preparing us for a big thing. Okay. So moving into new moon, obviously it's all about seeding your intentions, but don't you kind of feel like we've graduated beyond that basic framework? Because I feel like we have. I feel like all of us have. Those of you who have been with me for the past year in restoration, we've been doing new moon and full moon calls every single month, right? And can you kind of look back and see how that has shifted the way that you do things and kind of put you in more of the lunar rhythm? It feels like now it's time to step it up into the next place, into the next phase of the game. And while manifestation is part of that, being a creator is the next part of that and taking ownership of it. So I'm really excited for our new moon call on Saturday, which is tomorrow. It's at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because it very much feels like something else is going to come through for us and give us the new framework for seeding intention. So I'm excited to see what that might be. But anyway, moving from this Pisces wateriness, just be in this for a second, because when we have this weekend ahead of us that shifts us from Pisces into Aries again, this has already happened. So you know what this transition feels like and you're ready for that. It's really rapid. It's really fiery. It's really explosive. And honestly, anything that you want to happen can happen now. It's time to start understanding that you are the ones who create that. You are the ones who say this is what's happening and this is not what's happening. The thing we get stuck on are the details, right? We always want to know, well, what's going to happen? Because I don't want something to happen if I don't know what it is. And it's time to kind of move past that mental block and pull out of that more myopic view and just see the whole thing and understand that we can put in our requests for the way things are going to be and then let it go and let the universe take care of it. Really feeling into that this weekend. Also, and thank you to Claudia for reminding me about this, because man, these days, guys, I'm channeling a lot, and I find that even right after I say something, I do not remember it. So if that has affected you in any way, I'm so sorry. I'm doing my best to kind of keep things straight, and thank goodness for Jen and Claudia for like reminding me of things that I say these days. But Claudia reminded me that during the spring equinox event, I told you guys it would be a good time to pull 3 cards for yourself for the next 21 days. It appears that the 21-day mark is this weekend, is this new moon energy. So if you did that, if you pulled 3 cards to kind of give you an idea between spring equinox and this date, I totally encourage you to look back at those card pulls and see what was said, and then see how it applies to what's been happening with you in the past 3 weeks. The past 3 weeks have been a lot. So much, but nothing that you see out here, right? It's all been inside work. And sometimes the inside work, it's really hard to put a value on that or to see it because it's inside. And so we just kind of assume nothing's happened. But then you wake up one morning and literally the way that you experience the world is different. How do you quantify that? That's how I've been feeling every time I wake up lately. It's like, oh, I'm here in this different experience. Everything looks kind of the same, but I feel totally different. And it just keeps happening and happening and happening. You are being upgraded every single day. You are getting messages every single day. So it's really important to just take a moment during the slowdown, which is like basically today and tomorrow morning, to take stock of how much has happened for you internally. How much have you realized about yourself internally? How much have you actually released for yourself? How much have you forgiven? How much have you understood? How much have you integrated? And have you taken a moment to give yourself some praise and some recognition for this amazing internal work that you're doing? Because it's big stuff. And more as we move through this energy, we're starting to realize that it's the internal things and the things the things inside of us that create the big change that we want to see outside of us. We wanted to kind of go about that a different way, right? To affect change on the outside first and somehow have it trickle back in. But we're understanding that's not the flow of change. That's not the flow of healing. We are each emanating our own amazing energetic field that interacts with the Earth's energetic field and with others' energetic fields. So if you can take care of your energetic field and make it really, really shiny, really amazing, really potent, and giving off the kind of energy that you want to see more of, you will. You'll attract it to you and you'll create it in the world around you, because that's what you are doing. You're the beacon. You're emitting, okay, and calling in. So you're doing both of those things within this body. So realizing that change comes from within you totally changes this game, right? Because now you can't put off the things you were putting off. You can't say it's more important for me to help other people than it is to help myself. You can't say that anymore in good conscience, because you know deep inside of you, or not even deep inside of you, very at the ready for you, you know that is not the way it works anymore. And possibly has never worked that way, but certainly not anymore. You know that it's here first, which means you can't avoid yourself any longer. So the past 3 weeks may have been a really interesting time of having to meet you, right? Having to see yourself, having to look at all of the different places that you've been neglecting or shoving away, and watching as they kind of rise to the surface as you're like, oh dear, and then what? But also watching as they rise to the surface, you have that moment, and then you remember, I have an entire freaking toolbox for this. And you remember that your spiritual path and your spiritual journey and all of the things you've been doing have been preparing you for this. This is what it's for you to do your work, for you to be inside yourself and do the things. All of these tools are here to help you. And what an amazing thing to realize that all of these things you were doing, that you were like, well, I'm going to heal humanity with my energetic gifts. Well, isn't it so nice to know that that was really an important part of your journey, and now you can take that and bring it right here and give it to yourself? So it's been really interesting the past 3 weeks to see how that's manifested in everyone's individual lives. And remember, one of the cards for April was this one, the frog spirit. And I want to remind you of the frog spirit because the frog is all about cleaning house. And I'm actually going to talk about this, which I'm kind of shocked. I want to talk about your house and clutter, okay? Because I'm a very messy person. In fact, I talk about a left turn, it'll all come together. If my mental state is disturbed, overwhelmed, anxious, stressed, whatever it is, I make a mess, like big mess, right? Like I'd show you, but I don't want you to know. So I'm just going to tell you with words. So it's really bad though. And what ends up happening is I paralyze myself because once it gets to a certain point of messy, I can't actually function. Okay. And so then I can't function. It's a mess. I make more messes because I can't function in the mess that I created. And if you're asking yourself, do you have ADHD, Sarah? And yes, of course. But all that aside, when I do that, I then totally ruin my process, right? And I realized, and I think this applies regardless if you're messy or not, we don't understand sometimes or put together how everything is energy, right? Because sometimes it's easy to just say it's like not connected to this and just put it over there, but everything is energy. Oh my God, shut up, Claudia. Claudia's like, at least your car is good. It isn't, but you know what? If there's ever some sort of an emergency, my car is the one with all the snacks and blankets. So I'm just saying. Anyway, your environment holds energy. And this hit me yesterday as I was looking at my closet. There were so many things in there that tie into old energy. And anytime that I go to try to clear it out, I say to myself, well, I don't want to get rid of that because I don't want to like lose that memory, or maybe I'll use that later. There's nothing wrong with it. And then I keep it, right? So there's so much old energy being held and anchored in to my physical living space because of all of the crap that I keep. That, isn't necessarily crap, but like, do I need it? If I haven't touched it in 2 years, is it really something that I have to have with me? So I'm not a hoarder actually, and I do know this, but it's very much like something to look at, because frog is big with this. Frog is all about clearing out your physical space, okay? And that's gonna be really, really, really important, as well as your mental space. I'm sorry, we're being spammed. I like to think that this is flattering, but I don't really know how to get rid of them. I'm so sorry you're being spammed, guys. I'll make sure to block that person for next time. All right, moving forward. Anyway, think about the frog spirit as you move through this weekend. What can you get rid of that you've been kind of eyeing and you're like, I don't know? Because remember, items tie you to different energetic signatures, okay? And so as you get rid of things that are tying you to old energy, you make space for new things to come in. So it all kind of comes full circle. It's not about being a neat, tidy person. It's about your energetic hygiene, and also about giving yourself some support to move energy around. So think about that this weekend. Maybe there's something that needs to go, right? Maybe it's in your mind. It could be. It could absolutely be. Okay, so with that said, I am really feeling, I don't know if you guys have been feeling this, I'm really feeling Ganesha energy. So I have, again, Yeah, it can I mean, Lisa's asking on Instagram if it can be a person, and I think you know the answer to that. Who's a holder of the most energy ever? A person. So yeah, naturally. Naturally, Lisa. All right. Where's my, oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to pull a Ganesha card for you guys. Yeah, I've never been spammed like that before, like on a live thing. But like I said, I'm kind of feeling like it's a good thing. It feels like I've made it in the world, you know? I don't know where my Ganesha book went. Hold on 1 second. Don't leave. I see it. All right, so I'm gonna pull you a Ganesha card. If you haven't heard my Ganesha thing, Ganesha is one of my favorite Hindu deities. And like I was telling you guys last time, I love their energy because they are such an interesting mix of masculine and feminine. And I feel that like that's where we are moving towards, is that wonderful combination of masculine and feminine energy. Yes, I've arrived, Rosa. I'm finally getting spammed while I'm in a live. I can sit down now. All right, let's see what we got. Last one was all about ego. Let's see what this one is. Ooh. It's the first one of the card, of the deck. Wow, am I like just totally deconstructing this morning? It's probably an okay thing. All right, so it's number 1. I'm gonna show you on Facebook first. Beginnings. Beginnings. And I'll post this card in my Instagram stories. Just kind of an aside note about Facebook and Instagram. So if you've been wondering like where you should be migrating, I will be moving a lot of my stuff, you probably noticed, but I'm more active on Instagram, and I'm kind of phasing Facebook out. I'm not getting rid of the group or anything, so don't worry, but trying to kind of move stuff over there. So just keep that in mind, right? Okay, are you ready? It's beginnings. At the start of every endeavor, you will find Ganesha. Ooh. This is an indication of new energy on the horizon that brings open-hearted opportunities. Pay attention to where you're going. A new beginning can sometimes have a deeper spiritual significance, encouraging a different consideration or a fresh approach to how you connect with your inner guidance. With awareness comes understanding. One benefit of this new start may be the opportunity to stay true to your own path and guidance. Release the need to try to bring others into your vision. Trust yourself and be willing to do the work needed at this time. Your inspiration is positive. Creativity, finances, and love are flowing just before you. Ask Ganesha to assist you with the new energy and opportunities ahead of you. So, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I will post this card for you guys. And listen, it's so perfect for the new moon because that is absolutely the beginning of a new energetic cycle for us. Tomorrow should be really interesting. So anyway, Restoration members, our call is at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, which is Saturday. If you are not part of Restoration, you can still join us for free by signing up with code ACTIVATE. And you can find that in the link in my bio on Instagram or the link that's linked here that says link to all things. And you can also sign up for the 3-day relationship activation. And we also have, for those of you in my area, which is Central PA area, I have one outdoor activation happening on the 23rd of April. So a few things on the horizon. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing, amazing weekend. Take some deep breaths, snuggle in if you're in this area and it's rainy and cold today. Drink a lot of water, be kind to yourself, recognize all the growth that you've had. And if you did that 3-card pull, make sure you take a look at it and see what it said, okay? Love you, love you. If this has been helpful for you watching on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on the podcast, it would mean so much for me if you would share with your friends. Mwah. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow.